So I'm going to look at the SPY here now and see what it's doing. Again, it's moving up toward that pivot point. It's filled the gap. Again, we're green for the day on the SPY. We are slightly red on the day for the Qs. IWM green by about 0.8%. IWM quite a bit stronger than the other indexes right now. And again, I took a strangle on TTD. I'll see if it works. I don't know. I'll see if it moves at all. Starbucks was weak this morning, but it's bounced up a little bit. Circle, very weak. That was really a really good UMCAT trade this morning. Again, if you're looking for UMCAT, that's what you're looking for. Stacked high volume candles. Now, notice how it's just turned into a compression here now. GLW also moved up and compressed, starting to bounce again. Starting to move up one more time here. Again, I got a sell order on 1630 on this. If I can get $300 a contract out of this profit today, I'll take it. Again, about 1138. Just confirming TTT trade by this week's 21. What did I do? TTD is this week's 327, 2150 call puts, 22 calls. 2150 puts, 22 calls. All right, so 2250 puts and 21 calls for this week, Ian. For this week, this is just a speculation trade here on this TTD. This trade desk is getting pounded today, but it is fairly close to support right now. Has an ATR of about between $1.70 and about $2.25, so about $2 or so. So we didn't actually get it very cheap. I mean, I paid as much as I want to pay for that. Take two, also a nice short. Thank you. Yeah, take two coming in here today as well. Trading at 192.83 with support at 187.16. About $5.50 to the downside on take two. Right there. The circle moving sideways. And again, with long GLW moving up a little bit. NBIS sitting right at 114.85, right on the support level, right on the 8. Doug, help me understand how it's okay to put on GLW at a 1340 risk to make 300. Losses are rare, but sometimes they're 100%. Just trying to understand why is this, especially in this environment. I haven't been swing trading. I haven't been swing trading very much either. I have owned a GLW stock for a long time. Okay, why is it okay? Listen, if I'm paying $1,300 for an option, because the options are expensive, right? I'm taking them. I'm taking the GLW in the money options, going out quite a distance. So if I make $300 in one day on that, right? $300 in one day. That's just saying I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna. If I hold it overnight, that may change. But so, you know, am I looking for it to go to $2,600? I'm not. I'm taking $300 profit. $300 profit on that, Doug, is close to 30% in one day on that trade. I don't understand I mean, it's risk reward. I'm taking about almost 30% on the trade in one day. I don't see why you think that that's a bad thing. I really don't. Yeah, sure, it can go to 100% loss, sure. But if I'm up 300 a day, I'll take it off. Then I don't have any risk of any loss, do I, at that point? No. So if I stay in it and it turns around and heads back down the other way, then I have to look at my 139.63 support level and see if it stays above there. I mean, that's part of trading. I mean, there's just because you pay a lot for an option. I don't know. Are you saying that if you pay that much for an option, you have to take a huge profit in this thing? You make $1,000 on a contract. That's Yeah, it's a tough environment for swing trading, but GLW I mean, for technically, it's the perfect setup for a long. I mean, does it work? Who knows? But it's the perfect setup for a long. And if I can get $300 on a $1,300 investment in one day, I'm going to take it. And it's not that I don't understand the concern with the fact that you can lose all the money. Of course, you can lose all the money in any option that you take. So it seems like a lot. If the options are more expensive, of course, you can lose the money. Absolutely. Um, that's what trading is. But I don't see what you think would be the proper thing to do. If I'm putting 1360 and I'm only taking $300 profit, should I just not take the profit? Should stay in it until I get a much bigger profit? I don't if one day I don't understand.
On PIN had some interest, seen some activity in the April weekly, 18.5 calls. Over 12,000 contracts by the offer extended April 10th.
Yeah, the losses are rare, but you get 100%. You have to do 4 of those to get your money back. If you lose the whole thing, yeah, of course. But you're talking about taking $300 in one day if it works, right? You're out of the trade with you don't have any risk of any loss anymore. I don't, my mind doesn't work like that. William says Doug's confusing option price and intrinsic value versus position size. I guess, yeah, I mean, there is intrinsic value in that GLW, of course. We bought in the money. So when you buy in the monies and you buy a 60 or a 70 delta, you get a lot of premium in that option that you're risking that's actually part of the stock price. You didn't know it was a one-day trade? I didn't know. I don't know that it's a one-day trade, Doug. I put it on as a swing trade because I mean, look at the expiration date on this, April 17th. So it's set up as a swing. What I'm saying is, if I get $300 today in the trade, I'm going to take the profits, and I'll be out of the trade, and I can revisit it again the next day. I mean, we're in a market it's basically a day trading market right now, right? The swing trades are very tough. But like folks go in my alert service, they may not be able to take it off today. Then they'd be able to hold it. So I want them to have a trade that's got a very strong daily chart to it. Yeah, I mean, and Doug pointing at it's a one-day trade. Didn't know it was. I don't know that it is either. Usually, you hold them for a while. It can go down a lot over time. Sure, it can go down a lot over time. You know, the thing is, I'm trading technicals, Doug. Right? So if I'm trading a technical stock and it pulls back and it stays above my support level, I stay in the trade. When it breaks down, a lot of times it breaks down close to the expiration date, and you can't really do anything with it. You're going to take a 90 or 100% loss on it. That's just the way it is. But we get for the number of those that occur, the number we take off the same day or overnight is much higher. I mean, it's I'm getting a little, I'm just a little confused at the, just because you can have a stock that you can lose 100% on, what are you supposed to do? Take it off as soon as you have. I mean, some people will set stop losses. All right, if you're down 15%, you take the trade off. But I don't trade like that. I'm trading off of technicals, because I've found over time that if I stay with the technicals, I'm gonna, as opposed to taking off a trade for a loss, a lot of those trades are going to turn into wins. Some of them are going to turn into 100% losses. That's the way it is when you're trading technicals. But I'm not trading, I'm not trading percentages up or down, or 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 or any of that. You just hope it doesn't make a big reversal. Doug, if you don't want to take a trade because that's a lot of money, all right, but that's the way GLW is. It's expensive. The options are expensive. It's fairly volatile, right? So you just to say to me, I just hope it doesn't better hope it doesn't make a big reversal. You're trading in fear here. You're trading out of fear, and it's gonna mess up your trading. When you trade out of fear, you're trading. That's an emotion you're putting into the trade. Do I think it's going to reverse? I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm telling you right now that I'm in it because of the technical setup on the thing. And has it entered my mind that it could take a big drop until you said that? No, it doesn't. It's a strong technical stock. Can it take a big drop? Of course it can. But do I worry about it? No, I don't. All right, so that's about. I can't say too much more about that. Just took profits in GLW. Anyway, talking about it, it just took it off at 1630. It's probably going to keep going higher. But like I said, if I can get a $300 profit on that thing right now, I will. Look at those stacked high volume candles. Hey, coin's really weak. Thanks very much. I can't really read what your name is, if I J6I, but yeah, coin's coming in pretty hard here. Coin coming down pretty hard right now. GLW popped up nicely. We got out of the, I exited the trade, right? So it sold for 1630. And for me, this could keep going up. But with the market we're in right now, with the $300 profit that quickly in a trade like GLW, I'm going to take it, because I don't. This market is a nightmare right now. It's being driven by news, speculation, and rumors. So it can go either way, up or down. You take a good stock and you do the best you can with it. That's all you can do right now. All right, so we're out of GLW. Swing trade that we get out of quickly. I wanted to give myself time in case it didn't run up today, because I think it's a very good swing position. But if am I gonna give up that much on it? No, I'm not. I'm gonna take it because of the market conditions. I mean, we'd be much more likely to hold this thing if we had a decent market to trade, but we don't. I mean, we can only trade what the market gives us. All right, so we're out of GLW, in and out of it, and gave me a good chance to talk to folks about risk-reward setups, and again, if you're trading fearfully, it's really a detriment to your trading. And I mean, thinking of because you have 100% losses, sometimes you're going to have them. I mean, it could be a news event, it could be the stock is holding up all right, and then it falls right near when you're close to expiration date. There's several reasons for that. But what you're doing is you're looking across the long term here of trades that, by trading off of technicals, the majority of them will come back even though they're against you. I mean, if you take a trade off every time it goes red, you're going to end up taking losses out of most of your trades. I mean, that's just the way it is. Maybe not on quick intraday trades, but that's the way it would be on swing trades. All right, so that was it. I mean, I don't have I'm not upset about these kind of conversations. This is really good. This is really good to have these kind of conversations, because these are the same kind of questions a lot of traders have. I had these traders. I mean, I had these problems when I was learning how to trade. Believe me. And the biggest problem is what happens is one of the things I say is you need to have a 75% win rate in order to be consistently profitable. The reason for that is the losses that you take have a much more significant impact on your trading mentality, okay, than your mind, than positive ones do. It takes more wins to offset the one loss. So this is something that you have to deal with. So if you don't, what you what you end up doing is you're trading with anxiety, and you're trading with a fear. You're trading fearfully, and you cannot trade successfully consistently if you're trading with that. If you're trading with an emotion, whether it's greed, whether it's fear, whether it's anger. Trading out of a trade went against me, I'm going to get even. All of those things ruin your trading. And if you're subjecting yourself to that, you really need to sit back and just think about how I'm feeling when you're taking a trade. If you take a trade and it's $1,300 and you can't do that because it scares you that you could lose that much, please don't take the trade, because you're immediately putting yourself in a bad position because you're in a trade that you're afraid of.
Commentary out by Miran's Aragachi says we do not want a ceasefire and will make the aggressor regret it.
Yeah, and William puts out an important thing here. For that, if the position side is 2,000, if that's what you're taking, your max loss is 2,000, regardless of option costs. It doesn't matter, right? So how many of those would you take? One, probably one, maybe two, but that's your maximum loss. But your position size, the amount of money you're putting into a trade, should be dependent on the market. The market is a piece of garbage right now as far as trading. You can't take big risks in this market. In other words, you shouldn't be putting, if maybe you should be putting $1,000 into a trade instead of 2,000, or 2,000 instead of 4,000, whatever your baseline is. You shouldn't be trading with full sizes right now because the market is way too unstable. And if the 1,300 is too much, you just don't take the trade. I'm not saying anybody needs to take all these trades. Exactly, Doug. It can help others. Believe me, when one person's asking me these kind of questions, there's plenty of other people that have the same questions, and they maybe don't want to ask me about it.
Members, we are seeing a volume downtick in markets following these headlines out by
You call it the pants trade? You have a feeling the stock is going to do something other than the technicals? Yeah, listen, I'm trading off of technicals. That's all. I don't put anything else in there. But that's it. Okay, so I think we've covered that pretty well. I think we've covered most of the reasons for the trade. We're in it. We're out of it. We paid money on it. Okay, we're done. You have a feeling in your pants, Joe. Oh, savvy trader, I tell you. That's why we keep them over there in the Discord room, not here in the room. All right, so let's take a look at the market here. Again, it's low probability trading environment. Here we are right up to the pivot point. We had a little bit of a move up here. The pivot point is holding, and now we're rolling over, and the SPY is just gone back to flat. It's really a dead day here. I mean, the market hasn't gone anywhere. About almost 12 o'clock. Almost 12 o'clock. Let's see what's going over on YouTube here today. It was pointed out, thank you, the Circle earlier. Circle was a beauty, Nissy. I left a bunch of money on the table on that. AQA, GLW, that was GLW was a very nice one. FTI looks good, Robert. Yeah, I was looking at FTI last night. I was looking at it because it bounced off the 8 yesterday, which it has done again today. It's moved up nicely. But I'm kind of staying away from the energy stocks. Even if they're good setups. I don't like being in stocks that are susceptible to these rumors and these speculations and these news events. All right, so SPY's starting to pull down a little bit. Again, we get out of GLW. Yeah, did we get the top? Who knows for the day? I don't care. We're out of it. That's it. Harry, KTOS week, KTOS, thank you. Yeah, it's right at the 200 day. Be careful on the 200. It's below the 200 right now on KTOS. It's 77.48 is the 200 on KTOS, so it is below it right now. But if you get it and you take it short, watch that 200 because 77.48 is the 200 on. I think it is. Yeah, 77.48. So you don't want to get back up above it. Nice setup though. Coin's very weak as well. It was pointed out by one of the members and one of the folks on YouTube. Coin is very weak here right now. Crypto is pulling down pretty hard. Okay, be right back. I'm gonna give you some help here, Ruthie. I did.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh. What time are you gonna leave? Pretty soon?
Huh?
What time are you gonna leave?
5 minutes.
We're all messy up. I'll put the glasses.
I wouldn't say gussy up.
I'll put the glasses.
Well,
Yeah.
I can do this.
I can do this too.
Okay, but let me do this.
Okay, yeah, that's a pain in the ass. I know that probably.
No,
Done it. Yeah, we should probably be nice if the thing was a slidey. That thing was on.
yeah,
It's more
don't give Allison.
What? won't pay for this, because it was an expensive trade, $1,300 for the option. So I said, if you look at a trade and you say, it's gonna, I'm afraid, don't take the
Do
trade.
it, yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't be trading if you're nervous. He says, but you know, you're taking a $300 profit, it's costing you, that's not, you can take some big losses on these things. I tried to explain, he doesn't understand. How do you trade tacticals?
Somebody that's never gonna understand.
Oh yeah, that helps a lot, but he keeps circles.
What happened to that guy that probably, what's that happened? Give him this injury. Maybe Trump.
Sure he did. It was in the dishwasher?
Yeah. Figured out.
What happened to the guy, which guy?
The right thing, that's why I think it's a good trade.
Which guy you talking about?
You know, the one who called you and was so unsure, and then he ended up signing up for, like,
I can't remember.
constant questions. Old
I did a lot of that.
Yes.
Oh, not a lot.
You talk to him, and then he talks like, asking you to take this and take that, and me neither.
I do the best I can.
That's right, and that's all you can do, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hear the dishes.
Dirty dishes.
Don't forget your tea.
No, I'm preaching it.
Yeah, we're going through this trade, right? I'm spending 10 minutes telling the guy this is how we're trading it. Why would you tell me to take $300 gain? I said $300 gain in a 1 day on a $1,300 is 30%. Why would you not take this? I said then you're out of the trade. You don't have any risk. Yeah, but it could go way down if we have to stay in it. Yes, of course it can.
But you're not planning on staying.
Well, if we're planning on staying in if it didn't get up to that point. I said we're going to set a settler at $300. So as we're talking and and saying how nervous he is, I hear ding, oh, we just took profits, we're out.
Never mind.
One guy says, that's a good ending to this whole conversation. Oh gosh. Funny.
Get out of here.
All right, back. Had to help my wife with something for a minute. Now we're back here. Hey, Ram, come on. What do I think of WDC as a long? Well, I mean, let's look at WDC. All right, you know this falls in the same category as SNDK, as SanDisk, and STX. They're all looking fairly similar. But the thing I don't like about WDC, and it has pulled back right to the 8 and the 15 here. But you see this resistance level here, this 307. It's had a terrible time getting through there and staying through there. Moved up, pull back. Move up, pull back. Move up, pull back. It can't get through that 307. That is a very strong resistance level. You see right here? That's a very strong resistance level. So because of that, I wouldn't be taking that stock. Now you do have room from here to 307. All right, if it comes off the 8 here, you could trade that for a $13 up. But that would be what I'd be looking for. But if I'm looking at like STX, that looks better. And SanDisk, which is expensive. William trades this all the time, but it's very volatile. And there it is back down there again right now. So I honestly, I wouldn't take WDC personally. It's not a terrible setup, but I think I explained the reasons as to why I wouldn't. Microsoft's coming in. A lot of stocks coming in here, even though the market itself is trying to get back up again. It is pulling back. Again, the SPY is red again. USAR coming in. KPTI, a very good setup here in KPTI short. I have to look at the daily chart. Microsoft also looks like a short. Google, I was talked about earlier as a potential short, but now it's breaking down again. But not on high volume, notice. Not on high volume. Meta's been a good short. It is still a good short here. FSLY, which is a very strong stock, recently we took profits in that. I would not touch that short. We took KTOS 80 puts for 327. Thank you. 80 puts on KTOS. Okay, yeah, that's I actually like that, Ari. That's again, it's very very weak here. It's industrial sector, aerospace and defense. I'm not sure why it's so weak here today, but it's definitely breaking down. The next support level is 68.68. 68.68 on KTOS. We took the 80 puts for 550. The 80 puts. Yeah, you're in the money by about $4, so that's pretty good. This is KTOS right here. Again, we had some high volume candles here as it comes down. Again, the key here is the 200-day moving average. It's got to stay below this 200-day moving average right there. All right, it's got to stay below that 77.48. Yeah, and you see, you left some money on the table with Circle. Yeah, I think anybody who traded left some money on the table. It moved down really, really. It's still going down. I mean, it's still going down. But again, that thing's a very volatile stock. And when you're trading, especially when you're trading out of the monies like the UMCAT, you got to really be careful because the premium can go against you really quickly, really fast. So I was happy to take the profits I got. It's still coming down, but it's not coming down with high volume anymore. Again, GLW was beautiful. We really did get a really nice exit on that one.
SHOP, Shopify, saying starting this week millions of merchants can sell to ChatGPT users via agentic storefronts.
Dow with a nice move up here this morning, and then compression, now moving back up again. XOP mopping out of compression after an 8-day reversal. Thank you, Harry. Yep, long compression. Switch to Fibonacci, we can see the Fibonacci reversal. Yep, Fibonacci reversal right there. Notice, we're not talking about big volume on it, however. So this would be, if you're going to take a call on something like this, you want to take it in the money. Don't take a trade like that as an own cat trade, please.
On META, see a little volume. Meta's AI makeover starts at the top. Article out by Wall Street Journal.
Harry, you always go in the money. Okay. Trading at 182.26, so you want to go to something like 180, but they're 385 by 450. They're pretty expensive. And pretty widespread. That's the one you get the 180, 185. Yeah, that's nice. That's the bull call spread on it is nice. 12:20 here. See if we have any more questions. Oh, so far so good. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Is Google a good candidate for an UMCAT trade? Let's look at Google. It was earlier, right? This was a, notice these white and red mixed candles here, as this was popped off the bottom here. But that was a pretty good one this morning. Now we've been compressing for a while. Now this it is an UMCAT type setup right here. Yeah, you are getting a bounce here though. Be very careful. And let me look at the daily chart on Google. Right, so here's a daily Google chart right here. Let's get it up. It's Google Daily. Yeah, I think it's a good short. This is the thing that concerns me right here. This bottom of this candle right there, but it's kind of going through there. It's really not that high volume. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I don't know that I would do an UMCAT in it. I think with the, I mean, if I get another yellow candle here, I might. But I do like it short. I do like it short here. We talked about that earlier. That's kind of one you have to use your judgment on. You could take an UMCAT on it, but if you do, you're not going to be able to give it a lot of time. If it starts to compress, you're going to have to get out. If you go in the money on those Google puts, then you're going to be able to give it a little bit more time. That's the trade-off. Remember, Google, by the way, has expirations Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's got an expiration date of the 25th, which is tomorrow, and then Friday. So if you're going to intraday trade it, you just take the ones expiring tomorrow, because you'll get them cheaper. We're 12:25 here. I did find some support on Google that I didn't see before. It's 293 right here. 293, about 294 basically is a high volume support level. I don't know how effective it's going to be, but it does come across several lines. So if you're in Google, just be cautious of that. See it bounce right back up again off of that. $12.31. Gotta get some lunch here in about 10 minutes or so. Very little movement in the market here right now. Pretty slow. Again, if you look at the SPY, you can see we're slightly red, but barely. Very flat market. This is low probability trading environment right now. Very low. SPY moved up pretty nicely earlier today. Let me switch these candles back to regular candles. Don't really see much to trade here. Caterpillar trying to move up here today. Coming off a pretty terrible daily chart. Trying to move, but not really going far. Again, the SPY, you can see it's breaking down just a bit here. Again, SPY moving down just a bit here. About 12:39. I'm going to get lunch here in just a couple minutes. I'm not really looking at anything here right now to trade. CPNG with a volume candle. Daily chart pretty awful. Google again pulled back up to the 8. Now it's rolling back down again. All right, see if we have any questions, and I'm going to go ahead and grab some lunch. Hey, Tom. WM. Is there research you know that would have alerted at 12:05 p.m.? $12:05 right here. Well, I've searched as a TC2000 and looked for stocks breaking above the 8. Is that what you're talking about, WM? And I assume you're talking about this break above the 8 exponential moving average right here. And I do have scans of TC2000 that look for a price crossing up to the 8 in the 5 minute. But you can't run everything all at once at one time. But yeah, that would have. But I wouldn't have taken it because you get the VWAP, you get the 15 here, you get the VWAP here. So there's too much resistance for me to take it right there at the 1205. But yeah, I have scans that do that for sure. You also could have got a Hypothetical reversal candle here. Right there. There and there. Just those Hypothetical reversals. And it's a nice, I mean, here you get at 12:10 you get the current time frame momentum going bullish. But again, you'd be worried about running right into this VWAP. At least I would be. All right, gonna grab some lunch, everybody. I will be back a bit. Let me go ahead and close down YouTube. Thanks very much, everybody over at YouTube, for being here today. I appreciate it. Again, you can go to rightlinetrading.com and have access to buying the software, the SPY Super System software right here, which we use for UMCAT, SPY Super System trades, swing trades. We use it for everything to let us know what the institutions are doing. You can also join my options trading room and or the alert service, which if you've been on here, you know I'm basically in here all day long talking about trades. We did have some good ones today. We had GLW for everybody, which was really a nice trade. I had Circle this morning short that worked out nicely. I had AT&T from overnight that worked out really nicely. That's about it for right now. Okay, so listen, have a great afternoon, everybody. Trade well over there on YouTube, and we'll see you tomorrow. Be back tomorrow about 11:30. Have a great one. Trade well this afternoon.